Hi everyone, it's Justine. Let's talk about feet, the things we've been hiding in our shoes the whole winter. Yes, there are wide feet and narrow feet, that's for sure, but in terms of toes, of toe shapes, there are actually only 5 main types. Do you know what your type is, and do you know what it says about your personality? For this video, I'm gonna need you to take your shoes and your socks off, so I hope you're not watching this from the office. The Roman foot. Each shape has the name of an ancient civilization. I don't know why exactly, but if you say Roman foot to a shoe designer or a shoe seller, they will know exactly what you're talking about. So that's the wording we use. A Roman foot is the most common type. Here the first 3 toes are of similar length. Then the last 2 ones are much shorter, the little toe being the shortest one. Overall, the tip of the foot is quite wide and looks quite rounded if you have a Roman foot. Then the square foot. In the world of shoes, the name really says what it does, so I think this one is pretty clear. A square foot has toes that all have the same length. It means that your foot is very wide at the level of the toes. It looks a little bit like your foot overall is a rectangle. For instance, ballerinas often have a square foot, not by nature, but by practice, because they're standing on their toes so often, and the result is a flattened toe line. Next one, the Greek foot. Why Greek? Great question. I don't know. If your foot is Greek, then your second toe is your longest one. When you buy closed shoes, you need one size bigger just to have enough space for that one toe. Greek feet usually seem to be longer and thinner, so it's considered pretty, but honestly speaking, they're much happier in sandals than in closed shoes. Next one, the Egyptian foot. This one ranks all your toes in the right order, so to speak, so from the big toe to the little toe on each side. Most Egyptian feet look very harmonious because of that regularity. So when you see ads of feet wearing rings or decoration, usually they're showing you a model who has Egyptian feet. Next one, the Germanic foot. This name is a little bit of a cliche, I'm sorry about that. We really need new names for foot types. In a Germanic foot, the big toe is the biggest one, and then the other toes all have the same length, like on a square foot. You will also need shoes one size bigger, just like your Greek friend, but that's because of your big toe. Let's see what your foot type is. I've prepared a little poll, which is here in the corner of your screen. If you click on that card, you will see the different choices. Vote for your foot type. I want to know what the most common types after the Roman foot are, so I'd like to rank them. It's just in case I want to design shoes one day. You never know. Now, if you wonder what my feet look like, I will show you. My feet are typically Greek. The second toe is the longest. You clearly see that. Now comes the fun part. What does your foot say about your personality? If you have a Roman foot, then you're very likely to have great social skills. You can be a business person, you will be very good in public speaking. A square foot means that you're grounded, rooted in reality, pragmatic, practical, that you will think before you make decisions. A Greek foot means motivation, enthusiasm. It's also often called the artistic foot. People with Greek feet are likely to be creatives. I have Greek feet, motivated and creative. I hope that's all true. We'll see. Then an Egyptian foot means somebody who is a little bit more discreet, maybe slightly introverted, thinking a lot. It means that you have secrets and that your mood can go up and down. And then for a Germanic foot, it means an assertive personality with great logics. Now comes the most important question in this entire video. Can you separate all your toes from each other on both feet? Here is how it works. On one foot and on both feet. Together, apart. If you can split all your toes, you're very likely to love change. You don't like routine, and if things get too comfortable, at some point you will have to do your best to shake everything up. It's definitely true in my case. If you feel that you have difficulties separating the 2 smallest toes from each other, they kind of stick together, then you are a very organized person. You like to have a bit of routine and you like to have structure in your life. Is that true in your case? I'd love to read what you guys think in the comments. Now you can put your shoes back on. Finding out your foot shape is a fun exercise, but in fact shoe types are a nightmare for shoe designers because not every foot can fit into a ballerina, because a square foot in a pointy heel is going to be extremely uncomfortable, etc. But that's a story for another time. Thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. and subscribe to my channel to see future uploads. I upload usually every Wednesday and every Sunday, so to subscribe, simply click on my head right here. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, take care. Bye bye.